Good morning, downhill fans. I'm at the airport. It's the crack of dawn, and I'm on my way to my third Megavalanche. Bear with me here. There isn't going to be any riding in this video. This is kind of a prelude to the Megavalanche 2024 vlog series. I'll throw in a bike build as soon as I get to Alpe d'Huez, but until then, enjoy your trip there. Let's go. Whoa. Ride. Whoa! Permission to say fuck. SAS just stiffed me for 140 euros of overweight luggage. That stung really badly. On a more somber note than that, if that could even be possible, I managed to lose my AirPods in the taxi over here. Yeah, this is turning out to be quite an expensive trip. Alright, onwards and upwards. So here's a little backstory. This year I turned 40, and I just had to come up with a new way to hurt myself and, well, prove that I'm still able-bodied, I guess. I've done the Megavalanche twice before, in 2015 and 17, and it went relatively well for an amateur, for a mid-pack amateur. Again, back then I used to be in the shape of my life. I trained, I went to the gym regularly, I rode bikes 3-4 times a week, I raced on the weekends. Now, well, I've got a job, 2 small kids, and very little time to train. So there's that. I do, however, know the Megavalanche course. I've seen the videos, I've ridden it twice, for God's sake. I should be able to ride it again, safely and relatively quickly. And I mean, I hope that in the last however many years I've gotten better at just general bike riding, but that last thing remains to be seen. Boarding's about to start. I need to head to the gate. Alright, finally got to Geneva. Let's see if the bike got here in one piece. It's all here. Somebody has been opening my my wheels. I tried to train somewhat consistently since the beginning of the year, mostly calisthenics at home, but I did intertwine that with a bit of gym work. Mostly it was upper body strength and like these compound movements where you'd move, well, as much of your body as possible, burpees, stuff like that. The idea there was that this would probably give me, well, the best feeling and the most solid feeling of the bike for an extended period of time. I had a bit of a plan for the on-bike portion of the training as well. I mean, I knew that was going to be key. So in August of last year, I got an e-bike, and that was purely to just get more laps. So if I had a half hour after work before picking up the kids from school, there's a local hill. I'd head over there and bang out some laps. I would not be exerting myself to 100%, but I'd be constantly putting out effort for an extended period of time. It'd be constant effort, which I think is applicable to the Megavalanche. So we'll see how the training pans out. I still believe that there is no way for anybody to be 100% in shape for this race. It is a monster of a race, and it pummels both bikes and bodies, and I just don't think I'll ever be physically ready for it, if there even is such a thing. Awesome sauce. That is going to be my train in a few minutes, so let's head over to that side of the tracks, and then I'm on my merry way to Grenoble. Here we go, off to France. It's a beautiful city, isn't it? Now, can't see the mountains, but the stuff over there, just it's stunning. So the one thing I didn't touch on yet is the setbacks, and there were a few on this little Megavalanche journey. Preschool kids, that basically means that my January to about March, April, was just recovering from some kind of flu. I mean, they were bringing some kind of flu back every other week. That kind of does affect your training. In March, my right shoulder started acting up, and any kind of rotational movements, like reaching into the back seat from the front seat of a car, yeah, anything like that, is just killing me. After about 3 months of physio and pretty much daily specific rehab for that shoulder, it's now clicking less, it's now hurting less. The weird thing is that at the same time I was doing like at least 100 push-ups a day for a serious while, and that didn't hurt. So that particular motion was fine, but any kind of rotation, and I would scream in pain. Sometime around the beginning of May, I was ramping up my running as a means to do more cardio, and yeah, my sciatic nerve decided that I'd be walking with a limp for the foreseeable future and eating pain pills like they were Tic Tacs. It took me a while to rehab, about a month and a half, and we're pretty much here now. However, during that time, I could actually ride a bike, like, pretty well. There was very little pain. Running was just out of the question, but mountain biking was fine. So I kind of focused more on that. And then finally, sometime in June, I managed to high-five a rock in a pretty silly slow-speed crash. I just kind of got tangled up in the bike and went down in a corner. So I didn't break anything. I must have sprained something. There was a bit of a swelling around like this little pillow underneath the thumb, and for some reason a couple weeks later my index finger started really hurting, so I had to reposition the brake lever on the bar just to kind of be able to brake. And there's a lot of braking in the Megavalanche, so I'm basically hoping that pain pills will remedy this. I don't know how to rehab this, and it's too late to do it either way, but we'll see how this affects my riding once I get up to the hill. It's not all been smooth sailing, but I'm here now and I'm gonna try and make the best of it. I'm just super stoked to be doing this thing again. The Megavalanche is one of these things that I want to keep on coming back to because it's just such a fun experience and such a fun ride. All right, finally up on the hill. It took me a bloody while to get here. It's 7:03 p.m. My flight took off at 7 in the morning. Behind me, giant ass mountain. Somewhere over there up in the distance is Pic Blanc. That's where we're going to be starting from. This is beautiful. Just breathing this air is, oh, I'm loving it. All right, I got to the Airbnb and just look at this view. It's, I mean, you're not going to believe this. It's stunning. It is everything I dream of every single day when I'm stuck at home in the cold ass winter. So the reason I went through the setbacks to getting here first is to manage expectations, primarily my own. I raced the Megavalanche in 2017 and I qualified for the Mega Challenger race, which is the second best 350 people on the mountain. I rode the course in 1 hour and 7 minutes. And this was on a 27.5 Specialized Enduro. A lot has changed since then. The course, to start off with, I mean, there's a whole bunch of new sections which I have not seen. I've only seen them in a video, and they look pretty gnarly and high speed. So lots of commitment there. My bike, I'm riding a completely different bike. It rides completely differently from the Enduro. Is that better? Worse? I don't know. I'm still on 27.5 wheels, and I don't really intend on changing that for my Enduro bike, at least. You know, I had 7-8 years of riding, whatever it was. So I've been riding quite a bit of jank, and I'd like to think that I've gotten better at it. And the Megavalanche is basically jank and a buttload of commitment. So hopefully that's gonna, you know, give me an edge of some kind compared to my my last result. But it's really not apples to apples. It's a different course, like I said, and a whole bunch of different things. There's a huge aspect of luck involved in the Megavalanche. First of all, where you start from in the quali is a lottery, as far as I understand. So I could have, you know, been placed at the back of the quali, and then I'd have to battle 100 and something people to get to the front, or to get to those first however many to qualify for the first race. Do I even want to qualify for the first race? Because I know that I'm more of a mid-pack rider, so I'd probably be like towards the back end of the Megavalanche, the A race, which means that I'd be stuck in queues. I'd probably want to qualify for the Challenger again, and then be one of the first people off the snow. If you don't have a good snow section, and that's partly skill but partly luck, you're pretty much screwed. You're battling the entire way. Your pulse is like way up there, and it's hard to get back on a horse once you tumble the hell off of it. And it's not just the body, it's also the bike. it can go bad pretty quickly. Last time I crashed and I knocked off the preload on my Maxel. When does that ever happen? I've seen shocks burst, I've seen wheels explode, I've seen all kinds of stuff at this race, and I don't treat my bike well in any way, shape or form at home. I'm pretty rough on it, but I do take care of it, and there's nothing at home that compares like even remotely to this kind of terrain. In the case that somebody crashes into me or is about to crash into me, I am throwing the bike. I'm not gonna, you know, risk life and limb to save the bike. It's not feasible. I'm basically just really stoked to be here, to be breathing this high alpine air, and yeah, I can't wait to put the tires in the dirt tomorrow. So speaking of tires in the dirt, let's build the bike up. Good morning again. This isn't a continuation error, it's officially day number 1 of riding. But first, head out and get some breakfast. Shop should be open in a couple of minutes. But I was thinking, the one thing that really is amazing with the Megavalanche, it's sure, you got trails, you got amazing nature, but the people. It's just so easy to gather around the common denominator, which is either mountain biking or beer drinking or fixing bikes or whatever. Today I'm going to be riding a dual. Also a buddy of mine, Lewis, who I rode with in 2017, is making an appearance. He's going to be here in a couple of days, so it's going to be awesome. I just had to have this as an outdoor background. I mean, how beautiful is this? If you like this kind of content, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. Megavalanche 2024 has officially started.
Allarma! El ritmo fatal! La bomba!